Howdy, gang. That had messed up last time. I know we caught it right at the end. But, yeah, it was using my, my controller's mic. And I don't know why it was so bad. Like, it was like maxed out. We've had the issue before, and I don't think they... Little vibration in the controller, you can hear all my button inputs. It was not good. I ended up like ripping the audio from that video and like putting a limiter on it, and I even like tried to make my voice a little less bassy so it's just less abrasive on the ears. Not much I can do about all the little clicking, but you know, I made it like not such an assault on the senses. Still, the voice being so loud and all the button inputs, all that I have a ducking effect, makes the game quieter when there's loud sounds, so the audio is just really quiet throughout the whole thing. I did what I could, but not a great start. No, everything should be back to normal now. I just have to remember to check the settings after an update. I think this still is locked by guardians. It sounded like everybody saw the blacksmith leave with the local authorities. They ran off to their hideout up the road. There's also some treasure in the church up there that I might want to check out. But because my weapons are maxed right now, the blacksmith is definitely my priority. Sounds like it might even be this way, like in these ruins. The map showed it just like up the road somewhere. I might have to go back across the bridge. Do I have the map on me? And there's Jova. We go through the big marsh, cross the bridge, over a second bridge. Okay. But I don't have to turn around. I just keep going this way. So give me a second to reacquaint with the controls. I can do this. I am a gamer. We do have a few more things to talk about this week. Look forward to that. I need to save right now. honestly, I really like this game so far. Though, I was thinking about playing it a bit more sooner. But I had to learn how to do that whole extract audio and edit it kind of thing. I've never really done much of that before. Something I should consider doing with some of my older videos, like the Darksiders. I think the first few sessions of that were pretty not good. I think up until Darksiders 2, really, luckily the first game isn't that long. I think that's one of the earliest Let's Plays I have on the channel. I did something to fix it, but it's not perfect. Anyways, to keep myself from playing more of this, aside from just being deterred by the thought of work, I started playing Metaphor Refantasio. Absolutely loving it so far. That's gonna keep me distracted while we're not playing this. My initial thoughts were like, this is just Persona. Yeah, I was a little disappointed, but you know, it's a little different. Only a little different. Like, it's still very much like way more Persona than I thought. Like, I didn't think you'd be hanging out with friends and managing days the same way. But like, it's got a job system instead of monster collecting, and you know, you got this somewhat action combat outside that makes grinding a lot more tolerable. I really like the fantasy world. It's got a few interesting things going on I'm really enjoying about it. Even the dungeon, like, I've been doing the first dungeon. I've actually had to go out because it's just that long. It's not like I can go in over-leveled and just conquer it like you were able to do in Persona 4. I actually did a side one, but I was under-leveled for it first. I stayed there and grinded till I can beat it. I figured I'd be able to stomp the main one day. I was supposed to do before that, and I wasn't able to.
Knew they were coming. The demons. All in the cards, see? I watched them like a hawk. What's going on to the south? Who knows? All connected. Been taking notes, pictures, cataloging. All on the wall there. Can't leave, though. Can't leave. Government dogs waiting in the weeds. Want my research. Need a zoom lens. Yes, staying right here. Need close-ups for the wall. Don't need it. Don't need it.
Okay. What are these? Are these guardians? It's something about the South. Newspaper clipping. The Inquiring Eye newspaper. Longtime readers will know that I'm no stranger to controversy, but I put my neck on the line every single week to bring you, dear readers, the latest and wildest news they don't want you to hear. This week's incredible testimony comes from the way of fellow truth seeker Mr. Anton Kozina. Mr. Kozina, a resident of Skell, was participating in a routine weekend hike through Sendra Forest. This was anything but routine, however. While the vicinity of the forest-framed fortress has begun to hear strange, unearthly noises from this direction, despite knowing full well the penalties of trespassing near heritage sites, Mr. Kozina was compelled to investigate. As he approached, the noises became louder and louder. Now at the base of the massive tower, with no further answers, his quandary decided to climb. Up he went, several stories high, before he came to a small opening, and lo, a horrifying sight. Picture one of the white boys. Don't just take it from me here, Mr. Cousin, in his own words. When I peeked into the window, Sethra saved me. The hairs on my neck stood up. I nearly lost my grip. One thing's for sure, I'm staying the hell away from that place. There you have it, folks. Incontrovertible evidence that we are indeed being lied to in Powers That Be. What is this mysterious creature? An alien? A mutant? Experiment gone wrong? What else is hidden in the hollowed halls of the haunted spire? So these things aren't like a new occurrence. They've just been here, and we were told to stay away from heritage sites because they're somehow related to them. But for why? Are they like ghosts? Are they haunting the place? Or are they made there? This. I don't know. Maybe it's related to one of the pictures on the wall. I'll take another look. Manual saves do not heal. Yeah, I thought I'd have to jump off the bridge. It's kind of why I ran right in there with no health. Figured the worst thing that could happen is I revive with full health. Pilgrims of Plan Memorial Ribbon. Okay. And then I wanted to circle back to the Hermit's hut and see if it has anything related to that circle. No. I have no idea what to do with that then. Imagine maybe in the fortress. But Blacksmith's gonna stay priority. Going on there? Like already out. I usually see that. Oh. Did it have no host body? It couldn't reform. Not sure which way to go. Is it up here? And if I was a police force, I would use an old castle as my outpost. Maybe. AFF orders bombardment. Just aim at inhabitants, don't destroy the town. You want move your people in. Kind of weird. Why use explosives at all if you're trying to keep the town? Just send people with guns in. Like, I get that you want to have maybe a trump card, but just like station some snipers up there, you got it. New weapon, nice. Limbic pole arm. What do you mean pole arm? It looks like an axe. Maybe a two-hander. whirlwind. Unit spins the user. Okay. It's a spin attack, but the drone is gonna give me like a jetpack boost. The axes, I like them for pairing, but really they're just kind of alright. Like, the max charge attack is longer and does the same amount of damage as the sword. Because this is faster than the sword? Oh, weird. Oh. I see. He uses it like a spear. Kind of a pole axe, I guess he says, like a halberd, maybe. Hold on, it's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick! Alright, it didn't do that much damage, but watch this. Now I'm gonna use the charge move. Yeah! Ah, speaking of charge moves, what's this one do? Pretty good. Big area sweep. Looks like it's off to me.
Hey! Help! Over here! In the maintenance room!
What?
Thanks for the help. Wait. That necklace. You must be one of his friends.
Who are you?
I'm Victor Gaz. I left Jova to look for my mentor Vitalis. My ears are still ringing from that damn explosion. The trucks must have driven over a mine or something. I pulled Lieutenant Rue out just in time. We're the only survivors. The explosion must have attracted the creatures. We hid in here until I could figure out a way back to Jova.
Who is Vitalis?
Vitalis is the blacksmith of Jova. I've been his apprentice for many years. I was an idiot to think I could go look for him. Recently, some agents came for him. You know, black suits, shades. Let's just say they didn't seem like the type to fuck around. Listen, maybe we could help each other. Take the key to Vitalis' home. I found a locked door in the basement, but couldn't figure out how to open it. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did. I'll come join you later. I need to make sure the lieutenant can make it back to Jova. I'll find a way to avoid the creatures.
Alright.
You know anything about this necklace?
We can talk about the necklace when we get back to Jova.
Do you know what these weapons are?
Not here. We'll talk about it.
Jesus Christ.
Where's Vitalis?
The house is right in front of the forge in the northeastern part of Jova. You can't miss it. There's a blue swing in the tree next to the house.
Swing I never get to ride on. Ah. That's how you do your invisible wall. Tank that I can't climb over. Okay.
Need to make more adjustments to the serum. Continue.
Regenerated. So one of these guys is a host. Nice. Already almost at level 3 from that one encounter. The hell? I know my face is covering it, but there's like an XP bar right next to the health. There's like a picture of the weapon and it's like a hexagon that fills up. Like the space that would have been your Covenant symbol in Dark Souls, you know. Gotta put something there. Stamina, I need to regen. I'm so used to blocking to regenerate because of Blades of Fire. Yeah, we're already in that. Now wait, does this go up to level 4? Oh, nice, they all went up to level 4. Imagine the different colors are like their limbic affinity, whatever that we've been seeing on some of the items. Gotta be some kind of elemental resistance associated with that I can maybe put on my weapons. By default, they say that they're neutral. But I bet I can make this axe like red or green or something. Control X. I'm already a little close to maxing out this weapon too, so I think I should run back to Jova. Hopefully this apprentice knows enough to improve my damn weapons. Still never found the music player, did I? I have sheet music. Figured they'd want it. I have no idea where it's coming. Oh, there he fucking is. Holy shit.
I'm only permitted to play Sabinian classics, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, I only happen to know one of their dreadful compositions.
Uh-huh. All about tradition, am I
I'm
right?
getting the impression that Captain Voss is tired of hearing the same tune over and over again. I need to learn some new pieces before I end up against the wall. This is precisely what I need. I'm sure Voss will appreciate this one, at least for a while. I'd feel more comfortable learning one more piece, though. Hopefully Voss will stop staring daggers in my direction now.
Why don't
Even
you
if
just,
each
like,
of these
only play
compositions
once a
sounds
day or
more
something?
dreadful than the last.
Huh? It says blacksmith shop. I said the key was for the basement. Maybe there's another entrance. Who's swinging the yard? Oh, it's right across from it. There's the blacksmith's house, and across the street's his shop. That makes sense. Framed picture of a young boy in a soapbox car found in Vitalis' house in Jova. I imagine that's my character. His name is written somewhere, but he never says it. Keys to the car. picture a young man and his pregnant wife. Maybe that fits. Vitalis, do you remember the book you gave me when I became pregnant? It was a play from the outside. You had brought it from a smuggler. I remember a particular passage that aptly captures my newfound feelings toward you. I never pause again, never stand still till either death hath closed these eyes of mine, or fortune given me measure of revenge. Until we meet again, Vitalis. A letter vowing revenge on my father. My mother write this. Huh? Why, did he leave her, or is he the reason they had to get rid of the boy? Is it all about the necklace? I don't want these. Yeah, I don't have those symbols. The right shape. Just like order of chronology. The order of the pictures must have something to do with the code. And like 3217. Is there a number on this car? Maybe 00. The number's dirty, but maybe I can find the real car and get the number from it. I do have that key with the car on it, right? There it is. 13. So 32, 17, 13. Fellow brothers and sisters of the Vigil, we have made great progress in deciphering the ancient locking mechanism used by the enigmatic core of the Eye. I believe what lies beyond these mechanisms will provide the answers that eludes us for centuries. To unlock the mechanisms, a specific set of keys must be inserted into all available slots. These keys are long rectangular rods that appear to be hidden in strategic locations across Hadia. Each rod is hued based on its limbic sphere and carries an inscribed symbol. Thus, to unlock a mechanism, each slot requires a specific key. Key's hue and symbol must match a slot. May your vigilance never fall, or Vyssa Blacksmith. Limbic rod, grief W. Is that a great sword? Perfect guard glyph. Fingering pain. Rage spike. Fear. Thankful ambush. I'll figure out what all those are. When I can actually use them. The journalist has arrived. Meet the Weeping Knight as planned. I guess I have to find the Weeping Knight. Oh, this is another one where the charge attack takes forever and doesn't do much damage than the one on my sword. Even the 3-hit combo does more damage than the charge attack. Why would I ever use the charge attack? Rather than maybe break a guard. Vitalis, has become abundantly clear to me that we are being systematically hunted. This is more than mere coincidence. The entire chapters are going silent. You know how I feel about this business with the journalists. We've never been so vulnerable. Now's not the time to be bringing in outsiders. More than ever, be vigilant, brother. Your friend, Damien. I have this one now. But I still don't have anything that fits that. Imagine I should keep that with me for the moment. Maybe the Weeping Knight, was it? Has the other key I need. Another limbic sword? I have to level it up separately. Victor, I always respected your moral obligation and martial training. Did you ever change your mind or simply wish to evaluate your handiwork? There exists an inter-training facility. Generations of vigils right here in the Kaliska marshes. You find the entrance below Monument Hill. Pillars ensure entrance must wield a limbic weapon counterclockwise from the northeast. So there's a place where I can grind. That what you're telling me?
I have no use for... I have no use...
Okay.
Thanks for helping us in the tunnel.
I left Lieutenant Rue at the outpost. I'll check in on her later. Any luck figuring out how to open the door in the basement? I looked everywhere for the code.
Not everywhere enough.
Can you tell me more about yourself?
When I met Vitalis, I was in a very dark place. If it wasn't for him, chances are I'd either be a criminal or dead. Face down in a ditch somewhere. But Vitalis saw something in me. He gave me focus, discipline, and skills. Skills that would one day serve a great purpose.
What are these weapons?
They're called limbic weapons. Vitalis told me that they were intricately tied to this country's history. He taught me how to repair and enhance them. But to do so, I need limbic shards. And Vitalis wouldn't tell me where the shards come from. He kept a small stash hidden behind the red toolbox. Go get it, and I'll show you what I can do.
You know anything about this necklace?
Vitalis has one too, though it's not quite the same. I noticed some of his friends wore similar ones around their necks. They call themselves the Vigil. I think they're made of limbic shards like your weapons, but I'm not sure. The weapons, the necklaces, and the vigils are all connected somehow. I guess Vitalis left out some lessons.
What is going on with Abbot Jaffer?
When I left to find Vitalis, they kept him in a small house in the center of town, exposing him like that in the open. Captain Voss wants to send a message to whoever remains in Jova. I'll find a way to get him some water when the guard is distracted. It's all I can do for him. Whatever Captain Voss wants from Abbot Jaffer, he won't stop until he gets it.
Any idea what Captain Voss is up to?
My best guess is that he's thieving. Be careful when dealing with Voss. Men like him are unpredictable, which makes Voss very dangerous. I'm only alive because I'm useful to him. Thanks Etheris too. Otherwise, I'd be dead or, worse, shipped off to a prison camp.
What do you know about the Vigil?
Vitalis told me about the Vigil, but not in detail. Before he left, he promised to explain everything upon his return.
What do you make of this note?
Vitalis never mentioned a journalist. I know where the Weeping Knight is, though. It's in the Vyssa Hills. It's a large statue of a Sabinian knight holding another fallen in combat. I'm surprised it's still around, considering it's in the Palamist province. It's nestled under a large weeping willow tree. People often light candles and leave pictures of their loved ones at the foot of the statue.
Do you know the woman in the pictures?
Whoever she is, she seems to be a painful memory. Vitalis became angry whenever I asked about her, and he would shut me out completely. So I dropped it.
Can you tell me more about Vitalis?
She wrote the note,
Vitalis was
right?
haunted by the past and anxious about the future.
She's angry with him.
He was often away, sometimes for months at a time. After seeing the destruction of the war and the creature's sudden appearance, I now understand why he was so preoccupied. We've always been cut off from the rest of the world, even before Girion Yankel's dictatorship. Everyone acts surprised when Sabinians and Palamists rip each other apart. Isolation has terrible consequences on individuals. Imagine what it can do to an entire population. In fact, you don't have to. Look around. There are plenty of examples of such consequences. It's like Hadia is a science experiment gone awry, meant to teach the rest of the world a lesson. After witnessing and hearing of atrocities being committed all over Hadia, it only seems to fill my spirit with dark thoughts. One thought stands out from the rest, though. Whatever these creatures are, we deserve them. I have nothing but good to say about them. They're the first outsiders I ever met. They were very friendly to everyone and very helpful. Lieutenant Rue gave me a few odd jobs here and there. Her men taught me how to play football. I had a blast, as did some of the kids in Jova. They organized a small tournament, which helped us forget about the political tensions flaring up.
Like football or football?
I feel sorry for Lieutenant Rue, though. She lost all her men. They were all very close, especially with Rojo and Typhon. I should check in on her soon. My father was Sabinian. I'm a freak occurrence in Hadia. I belong to both worlds. I think the Sabinians got lost in their so-called progressiveness. They seem to have lost touch with their roots. If you go far enough into history, Sabinians were all Palamists at one time. I think it's important to know where you're from. It might humble some of the pride and temper reckless ambitions. Don't tell anyone, but my mom was a Palamist. I attended Mass and participated in some of the rituals. It made my mother happy, but I grew out of it. Now that I think about it, that's when my life took a turn for the worse. Vitalis helped me out of that hole I had dug for myself. However, I would be a liar if I said that my faith didn't play a big part in my recovery. I'm happy to say that I stand in his gaze again. And yes, I admit it. I pray to him at times, especially for Vitalis' safe return. Vitalis had a relapse a while back. I helped him through it. He let a few things slip out, though. It didn't make much sense then, but I started connecting the dots when I crossed the marsh. He spoke of these creatures. He said that they were coming. He called it the Calamity. He said they were the physical manifestation of malevolent human emotions, and war was their doorway into our world. I figured it was the alcohol talking. I sure as hell believe him now.
Okay. That's kind of what, like, ghosts or curses are sometimes, right? That's the one that I needed.
What needs my attention?
Imbue defensive gear. Weave limbic consumables. He makes these? Study. You can give them new techniques. Should glyphs be recovered, they can be inscribed into limbic weapons of a matching sphere and grant unique abilities. Neutral glyphs can be inscribed into all weapons. Okay. The stats are the same, but I guess it determines what kind of upgrades I can slot into them. So that means I should maybe look at what glyphs I have available to see what would fit. No, you lose less stamina when you guard for a time. It's kind of lame. Terrifying burst, you recoil backwards, leaving nearby Olympic enemies stunned. Right. Spawn a pool of pure terror energy that can be activated at will, leaving the seized limbic entities in dreadful pain. Huh? Just like an explosive trap. Ecstasy. Acute delirium swells and grips limbic entities in front of you, eroding their stance. Okay. Potential lance of calcified rage erupts from your weapon and blazes towards your target, detonating upon impact. Like throw something, I guess. Pure heated malice manifests into a lasso that ensnares a targeted limbic entity, eventually pulling it back into melee range and stunning it in the process. I remember that, it's kind of sick. Pool of deep sorrow unfurls around you, inflicting lingering damage to affected limbic entities. That one's a DPS, the Terra one's an explosion. And upgrading doesn't require anything special, right? I can just do it. I'm gonna make this a rage sword.
The Taoists would be proud.
And this one's good for dealing with groups, so I'm thinking it should be either Terror or Grief. Right, Grief.
I've outdone myself this.
This sword, make it a Terror sword. And some ecstasy axes. How about that? One of each. Oh, it actually changes the shape of the weapon. That's neat. This. While grievously wounded, reduce stamina cost of all actions. I'm sure.
I've outdone myself. Here.
Make both those better, why not? So, Rage Spike. And this one's get over here. This, can I equip these to multiple weapons, do you think? We'll find out. Oops. Seems like I'm free to move on to the next area, but there's plenty to explore here. In fact, I probably shouldn't have gone down the hill because I gotta go back in the house. I found the key for that box. I think there was another limbic door in the sewers. I don't know. I need to get milk for the lady. I might have to go back to the first map because the guy has a cow. Maybe the milk has to come from a woman. I don't know. Limbic mending. Heals you, you gotta hold it. Consumes energy per second. Kinda cool. It ate my rods, I can't get them back. I am actually low in health right now, so look at that. So, I guess we should maybe go to the church. Captain Voss is looking for treasure in the church. The father says that there's only really alcohol there, but there's a guy who wants more alcohol and he'll give me the key to Voss's office. Exchange. So, it sounds like there's a couple reasons to go there. Maybe I can even get the priest out of his bondage. Alright guys, so this week we finished Monster Hunter Stories 3 Twisted Reflection. It's the first and only Monster Hunter Stories game I played, so well. So I wasn't entirely sure what to expect from it. I know that it's just a turn-based RPG. Probably has a little more story, if you know what the title is. And from what I saw, it seemed like you collect monsters and you ride them and you catch other monsters. Like, it's gonna be Pokemon, but you're in turn-based battles, you fight alongside the monsters instead of just making them fight for you. And you, like, ride on them. They have exploration abilities, and like, that seems more up my alley, more like what I want out of Pokemon, right? And I think that is kind of what I got to an extent. But in a weird way, it was a lot more Monster Hunter than I was expecting. Not that I don't like Monster Hunter, but, like, for a turn-based game, I'm not entirely sure it's what I want. So So, like, when you go into a battle, you're not just spamming attacks or even just targeting weaknesses. They are, like, long, drawn-out, strategic things. It's literally just like doing a monster hunt in Monster Hunter, but in turn-based. You're targeting specific limbs, you're trying to break specific parts to weaken certain attacks. You gotta manage the stun to maybe cancel out certain attacks. You're putting buffs on yourself and like going and collecting reagents out in the field to craft things to buff yourself. You're setting traps. But then there is also weakness targeting, and like with the monsters, when you go into dens to collect eggs and you hatch them yourselves, that's how you get friendly monsties. But when that happens, you can like take their genes and splice them to try and breed the perfect monster. And there's like a habitat restoration system where you release more out into the field and it raises the quality of the genes of that monster when you get new eggs of that type. So it's kind of not worth it to raise a monster or to get too attached to one until you get an S rank one by maxing out their field rank. And then there's another aspect of that where you can introduce new monsters to different habitats, and that'll make them like change their element or give them a dual element. So let's say the Tobi Kadochi is it's a lightning flying squirrel kind of thing by default. If you put it in the fire area, you'll get like an orange one that does fire attacks instead. And under certain conditions, this can lead to mutations and unlock new breeds. One of the first invasive species you fight gives you an egg for an endangered Rathian. And releasing that into the fire-type environment, which it's a fire-type monster, it makes sense you do that because it makes it stronger. Leads to an immediate mutation where the pink Rathian appears, and maxing that out unlocks the Dread Queen Rathian. I never actually encountered, but it's supposed to be one of the stronger monsters in the game, actually. I mentioned invasive monsters. Those are like bosses you can find. There's two.
Victor, I am so sorry for leaving so suddenly, especially with your training nearing completion. If you're listening to this, then you've proven quite resourceful once again. Please forgive the gambit, but I had to ensure these items did not fall into the wrong hands. Everything is here for you. I've left a tome containing additional lessons in limbic foraging. Other such tomes exist if you wish to seek them out. The pendant is normally only passed down to ordained members, you know this. Given the circumstances, I thought you should have it now. Wear it proudly. You deserve it.
Another necklace. Axes, chromatic shield. Okay. What was I saying? The invasive monsters? So their boss fights, there's usually one per region, and an area will be split into like 4 different regions, right? So there's a bunch of them. But they're like boss monsters, you only encounter them at night. When you go into their den, you have to like do like some tracking, get hints about what you're supposed to do for the fight, because they're like puzzle fights. And once you figure out the puzzle, you'll like repel the monster and it'll run away to its den. Retreat dens are another mechanic. If you get a monster to retreat by like tagging it or just beating it aggressively, there's a chance it'll do it on its own. It'll go back to its den and it'll have like eggs that are exclusively of that monster. Or normally it's a mix of eggs when you go into a random den. Anyways, you do the puzzle, it goes back to its den, and its den contains an egg quartz, which is like a crystallized egg of a monster that is extinct. Or in danger or something, but you revive that, and you can introduce a brand new monster into the environment. And these ones are usually, like, powerful. Very powerful, because you had to work for it. But you also have the opportunity to fight the monster for real, and not, like, let it run away. You still have to do, like, the same puzzle mechanics, but you gotta do it over the course of a whole fight and actually kill the thing. So those are pretty interesting and difficult, actually. But killing them gets you unique materials. Invasive hides and stuff are used for, like, endgame upgrades. They're pretty difficult to do. Even stuff from the first area will be a challenge at the end of the game. And that said, the scaling, it's like, when you level up, it's... something changes. Maybe you get more health or stamina regen, I don't know entirely. It at least increases the max level of your monsters, which scale more traditionally, but just like Monster Hunter, you don't really get stronger, you just get better equipment. Do not have a password for this. But for getting better equipment, just like Monster Hunter, you hunt monsters and they drop parts, and you turn those parts into suits of armor and weapons and stuff. They all have elemental effects and abilities, like turn-based attacks, weaved into them. And it has the gem system, so you can add, like, your own custom attacks. Finding duplicates of gems out in the fields boosts the quality of the gems that you already have, so you go from an S to an M to an XL, whatever. What's nice about it is it's a little simpler. You don't have to hunt specific parts, which they totally could have done with the part targeting system, but I'm glad they didn't. The parts just have, like, crafting values to them, so like the plate is worth like 5 points and the scale is worth 2. And, you know, you just gotta contribute enough points from a specific monster to craft a suit. Armor sets are one piece, there's just armor, weapons. Weapons are kind of limited. You basically have 2 of each attack type, so slashing, there's the greatsword and the katana. Piercing, a bow or a gun lance, and blunt is the battle horn and the hammer. Each one has its own unique mechanics, so like the sword's all about charging and doing big attacks, so you have to waste a turn, maybe it's more of a defensive build. The katana builds up charges to unleash big attacks, just as you use them. It seems pretty effective, but I didn't use it personally. Hammer does a ton of break damage, nothing too crazy. It does have cool counterattacks though, and it is needed for certain puzzles. The horn, of course, you attacks and it generates notes, so you can use to cast specific spells. You like play them in order. So like you need to harvest a couple red notes and a blue to play a specific song, right? And they'll have different effects based on what notes you gathered. I didn't mess with the gun lance at all. It seemed like it's just about like applying buffs after attacking, similar to the horn. And the bow has its coatings to apply effects on every attack, and you build that up to unleash a big move. I mostly played with the hammer, greatsword, and bow. I didn't even try the katana, to be honest. I thought that the hunting horn seemed like a very useful one, but I didn't want to personally put in the thought. So I instead brought a companion who could use that most of the time, because I liked getting the buffs from it. You only have 2 party members. You have yourself that you control, and your companion acts on his own, and you both have a monstie with you. The companion has one set Monstie, but as you go through their story, they'll unlock a different weapon and a second Monstie they can ride. And while you get a whole squad of Monsties you get to pick and choose from. And they all have like field abilities too, so you'll want to mix and match, bring stuff with elemental attack types, or, you know, something that can swim, something that can fly, something that can dig, climb, stuff like that. And there is a lot of gear in the end. Like, each monster does have a unique set. It seems like there's not much at first, but that's just because they're all one pieces. But by the end of the game, each one has a unique build. They're not all endgame worthy. Like, some of the early game monsters don't make good gear later. But maxing it out anyways will usually net you a gem, so it's kind of important to do that. I think it's kind of weird though, because beginning of the game monsters can be endgame worthy. Like, I never got rid of my Tobi-Kadochi. And you start with Ratha, of course, your Sky Scale Rathalos. It's important to the story. I kind of like that. Like, you just pick the monsters that you think are cool. You know, just have to phase them out when you get to the next area at all if you don't want to. And they level up pretty fast too, because again, I think they're capped to your player's level maybe. So it's not like hatching a new one's that big a deal. And there's also like, you can kind of idle game them to get experience. The gene splicing mechanic is like bingo. Each thing has like an element and a type. And when you line up 3 of a type or an element, it creates a bingo that boosts a certain stat on the monster. So you want to try and create as many of those as possible. Ideally, type and element match. I'd say it wasn't that big a deal for just playing the game basically up until the end, but the end of the game was like 10 back-to-back boss fights. Each one was harder than the last. I felt they were a pretty big difficulty spike from what I experienced up to that point. And I ended up having to min-max pretty hard. Like, I had to pick the right gear, I had to gene splice my monster just right, make sure I brought exactly the stuff to target weaknesses. It was work, but like, it was satisfying. Like, didn't really make me use the systems like that. Again, it's something that you should be used to if you're a fan of Monster Hunter. This.
There's nothing for you here. Head to Jova, if you... I can't take...
Okay. There, in addition to the invasive monsters, there are also, like, feral ones. Killing them unlocks, camps. They're not puzzle fights, but they do have special mechanics to them. Or they're, like, crystallized partially, and if you attack the crystallized part while it's active, it'll, like, retaliate, and it's a bit of a pain in the ass, but breaking it weakens its attacks. It's a whole thing, but killing it creates a camp for that zone, so like I said, the areas are split into like 4 regions. When you unlock the camp, you unlock the ability to restore habitats in that area, so you need to fight a boss before you can start boosting the quality of the eggs that you get from there. And those are all hard fights too. Most of them are optional, but you usually do at least one for the story in each area. And like late game, there are Elder Dragon fights. They're hard battles with unique mechanics, big long-winded things. But killing them nets you like a permanent stat boost for your companions, so it's pretty huge, pretty worth it. I think that summoning them is a bit annoying though. It's just like random. I'll tell you, go to an area and just like slaughter monsters. And the thing is, there's a mechanic where you like preemptive strike, and if you're a higher level than the monster, it just dies. You get its parts. It's good for grinding out equipment for material equipment. But you have to do actual fights. And it's at least 10, but for the one, I only did one of these, and I was just so out of it because it took so long. I had to do like 50 fights in a row before it actually appeared. It's completely random.
This place is off limits.
But yeah, like post-game, I think there was a lot of hard stuff to still attempt. That's good if you're into that. Getting stronger took a while to figure out. Like, I would hit a brick wall just a couple of times, but mostly towards the end. Then I had to start learning about, like, getting the gems for maxing out equipment and, like, actually using the gene splicing more than just setting up bingos. Like, I had to actually farm out higher quality genes. Or in some cases, I went most of the game with Ratha only having, like, small tier genes. Like, I had monsters with L's, I had to swap them out. Like, why didn't I do this before? And Ratha always has to be in your party because he's used for a couple specific moments in the story. A lot of bosses have unique mechanics. Yeah, I think it was a unique experience. It's definitely what I wanted out of Pokemon, but, like, I feel like some of the monster environments made some things a little too grindy. I feel like the fights maybe took a little too long at times. But, you know, you do get strong enough that you can avoid them entirely if you want. And the way XP is distributed, it's weird because it mostly comes just from picking shit up in the field. Just like how you gather Hunter rank in Monster Hunter. Like, fighting stuff doesn't actually get you XP necessarily. It's just kind of weird to me. The monster dens are kind of lame. Like, they're all copy-paste. You just run around in a circle, gather every material you can, and then grab an egg. Sometimes they have special effects in them. Like, it'll be full of barrel cats. They're like the gold hands from Persona. They do 1 damage, you have to kill it before it runs away. Or it'll have like a chest in it, and maybe a high-level monster that you could fight if you want. You know, we usually don't have to. It's whatever. You gather the eggs, you pick a monster you like. It's not something you have to engage with a ton if you don't want. The companions will have their own side story quest lines that you can do. And add a lot of extra time to the game, just get you out in the field a bit more. They're usually all about the same. Like, each companion has a thing that they're obsessed with, and you do that kind of mission for them each time. So, like, the one girl likes cooking, the other guy, he likes finding rare monsters, and the other one's like a mineral, so you always go into like a cave dungeon. Our guy likes plants. I don't even know what the fuck his shit was. I don't know. Which brings us to the story, I guess. For the most part, I did not give a shit. I'll say that. Like, I don't think the writing's any better than what you've experienced from Monster Hunter World onward. The characters have names, but they're still basically just titles. As I said, each of your companions has something that they're obsessed with, so like Gaul is the plant guy. He could just be called the herbalist if we were playing Monster Hunter World. I wouldn't know the difference. It's all he cares about is fucking plants and honor, I guess. Like his father was a royal guard or something. They just feel a little two-dimensional to me. I'm not allowed into the church. Where else can I even go? Basically, your mother recovered the rare sky scale Rathalos egg, brought it home, it bonded with you. You become captain of the Rangers, who are like a friendly, like park ranger force for monsters. You ride the monsters and you're friends with them, and you restore their habitats. You fight dangerous monsters, but you don't you're not a hunter necessarily. The kingdom is like at war with the rival nation who's suffering. Because the world has like an encroaching crystallization that's killing everything, and they need land. So they try to invade, kind of like Russia invading Ukraine, right? And they want to turn the Rangers into a military force. You're like, nah, I don't want to do that. So you go and like cross into the illegal lands, because apparently your people got banned. And the Wyverians, the elf people, have to like facilitate that contract. You cross the border anyways, which is super illegal, but nobody gave a shit. And try and learn the truth about like why you were banned and like what's the deal. Maybe you can try and solve the encroachment issue. And yeah, you just like abandon your kingdom while it's at war. It's kind of fucked up actually. And from there, it's just like isolated incidents across 3 maps until you finally get to the final area and learn something about your mother who's been missing forever. Some stuff didn't really make sense to me, like, if you weren't allowed to cross the border, then why am I learning anything about your mother outside? But I guess she's been breaching the issue the whole time, maybe, I don't know. A couple plot twists, like the story really only peaks at the end. That's where things start to kind of happen. You might care about. Up until then, I was like, whatever, I'm just out in the field grinding, doing busy work. Quest and stuff, which some people are into, you know. I know there are people who have like their national decks that they carry across every Pokemon game. It's never been my thing. You have some Deus Ex Machina towards the end too, and the characters are literally just like, yeah, apparently I can do this. And like, great, there's no explanation, no theorizing. And they don't even try to make it make sense. I think some of the dialogue's a little cringe. Like, in combat, you'll literally go, the power of friendship! Because you're all non-aggressive. The thing is, it's followed by like a really cool cinematic attack. There are a lot of those. Every monster has a unique one that you can do when you ride them. And you can do like combo attacks with your companions too. Brooch of Ecstasy, Delectable Recovery. While grievously wounded, increase your limbic energy regen. Dated Blueprints. Oh, you ate dinner. I gotta let you out, Beans. I don't think the art style looks bad. Like, the lighting style they went for is kind of Breath of the Wild-ish. But there's definitely, like, low-quality textures all over the place. It does look a little cheap. The other two games were, like, 3DS exclusives. They are on all platforms now, but originally. So, like, it's always been, like, a lower-budget series. I don't think it looks bad necessarily. I just feel like it could have been a little higher quality for like the first actual console release. I feel like there was more hype around this game. Like even I bought it. I thought it looked interesting. I wanted to give it a try. I'm not upset that I tried it, but it's not quite what I expected. Like I didn't love it as much. Like I'm playing Metaphor again, and like I just immediately I love it a lot more than I enjoyed Monster Hunter Stories 3, but it was fine. I'm glad I tried it. Interesting experience. Don't know that I'll ever go back to it, but I think that there is something in it for Monster Hunter fans and Pokemon fans. If you like both franchises, you'll probably absolutely love the game. I'm just like, there's always something that's been a little off about Monster Hunter to me. I don't care to try Wilds. I'll probably play the next entry whenever that comes out, but you know, having come right off World, I'm like, I have done enough grinding, I'm good for now. And, you know, I had the same experience in World, too, where, like, you hit a slump and then you try and relearn the game's systems and figure out how to really power scale yourself. It's a whole thing.
Come back later.
Any luck figuring out?
Oops. Under craft, I guess.
Let's get those weapons.
Study this book.
Whoa! Vitalis never told me that we could do this. From now on,
shards?
I'll be able to convert the shards.
Ah, so I can make the white ones an element. Makes sense. I guess I have to leave this map and come back later. Maybe something changed to let me go into the church at
Be
some
wary,
point.
my son. The serpent's way.
I could see if this thing ever opened up. I've killed an amount of Guardians. I don't think I killed all of them, but I saw recently an update. They added like a tracker to help you find the remaining Guardians after you've closed it, so I guess that means I don't need to kill all of them. Anyways. There's probably more that I said. Like, the game has a lot of layers, a lot of systems, a lot going on, but at the end of the day, it's like a lot of just turn your brain off, run around the field, gather material, fight a monster, turn your brain on for some of the fights. It was a long experience, too, actually. Like, I spent... Grant, I fell asleep during some of the battles. Like, I did not recommend playing this after work. This is more of a weekend game. But, almost 60 hours. I definitely could have done more. I don't know. For my taste, I'm feeling like a 6 out of 10 experience. Like, I had an above average time with it, and I think it had a lot of interesting stuff going for it, but again, for my taste, I don't think that I would play another one. However, I recognize that I'm someone who's not really a fan of Pokemon. You might love it, and people who like Monster Hunter a bit more than me, which, yeah, you would also probably enjoy it. If you liked both, then maybe the game's a damn masterpiece. I don't know. Probably not a masterpiece. Maybe it goes up to a 9 out of 10 for you. Like, again, the graphics and the story. But it is mostly gameplay. I think you could have a good time if you were not me. I only had an alright time. An interesting time. Again, I'm glad I tried it. This is one of the rare cases where, like, I have to point out that my rating system is it's based on feeling, it's not objective numbers. It's purely subjective. Because everybody's tastes are a little different. I play a lot of janky, obscure things. Which, would be a nice segue into the next thing I talk about, but I'm sure there's going to be a cutscene when I get on this APC. So how are we on time? It's been like 2 hours? Close. Oh, I thought it was going to the new area, but that was just me with my thumb on the stick. Alright, so that's the new area, but this guy has cows, so I might be able to get milk from him real quick. I guess the cutscene would only play when I go to the new area. That's fine, this will be short, I think. I don't have, like, limbic keys, do I? I know there's, like, a small area, but it took one of those square things, and... Did I need another medallion? There was, like, a girl trapped behind a door or something, and I didn't have the right key for that either. I only have one limbic key on me. Yeah. Oh, there's much I can do out here. Enemies respawn? Question mark? Oh, a time loop formed here somewhere. I give you bottles,
I
you
don't
give me
mind
milk.
handing over some of Betsy's milk, as long as it's for a Palamist baby. Don't feed any Sabinian bastards with that milk now.
Okay. I guess I'll go right back to the marshes with that. Come on. We can talk about some shows since they're usually quicker. Oops. Ah, Christ, I already forgot. Season 4. ReZero Season 4. It was pretty good. It starts off, pretty strong, pretty crazy, a lot of deaths, right? The last arc, Subaru did not die. He actually gets really fucked up and, like, just, he's working it, he's not dying, which is, unique. What the hell is this? Cheat. So, you know, it was interesting to see him going through it again. It's just been a while. Basically, they're going on an expedition to a tower that has some great sage in it. But it's surrounded by, like, the Lost Woods, basically. You just get lost in a desert forever. So they gotta find a way through that. There's apparently a sniper in the tower if you get too close, and there's also, like, worms, like dune big-ass worms, and all kinds of other beasties along the way. The first 2 episodes are just them trying to figure that out. Lots of deaths, some very brutal ones. I remember, I think it was, like, episode 2 or 3, the sniper, like, blows Subaru in half, and he's just, like, gasping and gargling on blood. My brother's taking a shit in the room right next to me. He comes out, he like runs off the fucking toilet. He's like, "Oh, is someone choking in here?" Like, the acting was just that good. Oh, and then Subaru starts to fucking lose it. He snaps at multiple points. He goes crazy. It's very fun. And once they get into the tower, they have to, like, do puzzle trials. Some of the solutions are weird. They, like, are connected to, stuff that only Subaru knows from being from, you know, our world. Means that the sage is probably related. Maybe, like, super related if what one of the characters says is true. New character's a titty lady. Pretty cool. The show surprisingly did not have, like, a titty lady companion yet, right? They only do a couple of the minigames. They actually get stuck on, like, the 3rd one. There's also, like, an interesting library of, like, death books where you can, like, live people's lives up to the point they died. Had some interesting stuff going on with it, and something with that ended up fucking with Subaru's head, and he may have, like, gone amnesiac again. Or not again, but, like, he's back to where he was. He forgot everything from being in the fantasy world. But there's also, like, something else going on with him, like, maybe he has a split personality? I don't know what's going on. Like, was that already there before and he was just able to deal with it, and now he can't because he doesn't know what's going on anymore, or what? I feel like something off happened after, like, Betelgeuse, and he got the unseen hand, and he started reading the gospel, and there's... I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff that I'm missing. I'm sure they elaborated more in the arcs that they skipped. Apparently they skip a lot of stuff from the manga. And there's a lot of very interesting stuff going on. I feel like the season ended a bit abruptly. It's the start of something. I imagine maybe he's gonna stop dying now. But he did not, like, resolve anything. Like, he is still amnesiac. He just kind of found some new resolve, I guess. Also, the stairs. Some of these streaming sites have, like, a comment section. Every episode leading up to it, people are like, the stairs are gonna be great, the stairs. And the stairs happen, like, every episode. This man's falling down the fucking stairs, he's breaking his arms and legs, and... Oh, it's so brutal. And the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, that's it, that wasn't so bad, but they get worse. The stairs are not always the same. I thought it was a pretty great season. I just wish it wasn't only 12 episodes. Heading to our third week down here, at least I think it's been 3 weeks. I've lost all notion of the time, not seeing the sun this long. We thought the SAB forces would have moved by now, but they're still hanging around for some reason. Food is running low. One of us will have to risk going out there to find supplies. Doubt the SABs will execute us on sight for what we did. That's what I would do. I have no regrets in hitting those filthy SABs again and again. Seth would save us. And the other one I wanted to talk about is another solid season, but it's a lot less interesting to talk about. It's Jujutsu Kaisen colon game. Kind of slept on it for a while. So I was hoping part 2 would come out, but no, it is what it is. It starts off a little slow, and it's like a time skip, so everybody's... Yuji's on the run. Fushiguro is, like, becoming head of the Zenin clan because he did that crazy binding ritual that almost killed him in the last arc. Maki's turned into, like, a butch dyke. She's going crazy. Most of the people at the school are all on the run because there's, like, the colon game is starting. There's, like, zones where people just go in PvP, collect points. There's rules. You get to make new rules by spending points. One of the episodes is literally just called, like, explaining the colon game. They just, like, go into a domain and they talk about rules forever. It's kind of a lot to take in. And we just get, like, 3 fights that last a few episodes. Or 4 fights, I guess. There's a bit of an arc leading up to it. Lady Margaret revealed Murvarago cast her sacred veil. I feel like I've read this before. Oh. Stuff happened. There was like an arena arc before they get into the actual game. Some kind of prep work. Wasn't bad, but they were like fake fights. They were staging them just to get to the guy, and then the actual fight with them was kind of cool. It felt very like JoJo with how puzzly they were doing things. Especially the fight Yuji does with, like, the courtroom judge thing. Like, it's basically a stand. It was fun, though. You know, I like JoJo's a lot, so it's not at all a problem for me. I'm bad with names. I think it was Yuta, right? The character from Jujutsu Kaisen 0. He makes his return. He's like crazy powerful now. Dude's insane. Honestly, like the last 2 episodes are just like a... Well, maybe even just the last episode. It was pretty fucking nuts. It's just his fight. He gets to fight like 4 people at once. They say his power level is like actually on par with the Gojo, so it's like actually nutso. You know, Gojo only had a couple fights too, but they were always crazy. Yeah, you'll love to see him back. That was so worth it. Like if it. I would just be like, alright, this was interesting, I wish more happened, but that final episode makes it all worth it. It was so good. Worth the wait. You know, that I'll just, like, jerk off to that for the next few months till part 2 comes out.
Blessed be his gaze. You found some milk. This is how we defeat the serpent. Small acts of kindness like this one. Uli has a chance now, thanks to you. When the time is right, Uli and I will escape Jova. I have enough milk to keep him fed and quiet for the journey. Uli and I thank you again for your kindness.
Land of milk, you know. That's it, you don't get any reward.
When the time is right.
Okay. Great. You know what, the Maki thing, that's like maybe episode 4 or something, like it's pretty early, but that was pretty nuts too, where she like murdered the entire fucking clan on her own. That was pretty good. I don't like her new Butch Dyke design though, like why'd they have to do that to my girl? She was cute before. Everybody's trying to like hide that they're from the high school too, so they're like they all have new designs in addition to just being a bit blurred from the time skip. Nice to see that. Though Fushiguro's still boring and he only wears black. The uniform's more or less unchanged. You just could switch out the coat for like a hoodie. Sad. I wish he had better fashionable design because I like Fushiguro a lot. He's like literally my desktop background. I call him like cool Sasuke because Sasuke's a fucking whiny bitch. But he has the Sasuke energy, you know? Like, everybody did think Sasuke was cool at a point, but he started being not cool to me eventually. Mostly after he left. Like, he had no reason to do that, and everything he did after that was just really fucking stupid. Like, fuck that guy. Come home, Sasuke. We miss you. I hear that he's pretty cool again in Boruto, but Boruto's not canon. I don't know that I want to watch that ever. It's literally a different writer, and they like ruin a lot of other characters. I just don't want that to happen. I'd rather just hate Sasuke and be happy with everyone else. I guess that's all I got to say. It's a solid season, right? Again, I just wish that like more actual plot advancement happened, but the fights were good. They were fun. Got a little more into the JoJo territory, which isn't really what I... It's not like it's unheard of for the show. Like, they have weird powers they gotta explain, but they're usually not that bizarre. They don't have like crazy rules to them like that. They just use them interesting ways, you know? But I imagine that's mostly just because they were dealing with cursed spirit users, which you didn't see too many of in the past. But like a cursed spirit is basically just a stand, right? So it makes sense that they play it like that. Oh, and I still have to go and watch the Hidden Inventory movie. I was gonna see it in theaters, but it turned out to not be at the theater near me. It was like an hour away, and my friend didn't want to go. He didn't have money, so I didn't go. I kind of forgot about watching it. I was just gonna do it at home, you know, when it was on streaming, but it didn't happen. I should do that soon, though. It's a prequel, so it's not that big a deal, but I'd like to see that, because I really liked the prequel art in last season. Guess there was no cutscene. I guess we can go on to the next topic that I kind of skipped over for a little bit. When I said I play a lot of obscure jank things, and this one's cringe. Filled with unknown substance. A little less obscure, but still pretty jank. Archolos, Chronicles, and Myrtana. I've mentioned it a few times before, but it's fan-made game mod of Gothic 2. It actually has its own, like, Steam and GOG installers. I can find the page for it. You'll see it's, like, kind of a lost art style, in my opinion. Something that I like... Oh god, porn games. Chronicles of Myrtana. See, it's listed as free, but, like, you need to own Gothic 2 to install it in the first place, just like, Enderall for Skyrim, right? This sort of low polygon with HD textures on it, like you've seen in the N64, like, 2002. Something I really like about this that I think is beautiful is lost art style to me. The game uses Gothic 2 as a base, of course, so there is a bit of jank to it. Like, standing still and just, like, using your movement keys to swing directions, and you have to, like, just precisely parry attacks, but you can't parry monsters, so there's, like, a dodge move. I didn't even realize that there was an option to switch between Gothic 1 and 2 controls. They make you use Gothic 1 controls by default because they were better, but Gothic 2 you can move and attack, it's just sloppy. And you can, like, further mod this, like, I had to use the Unity Union patch, something like that, to, like, make some of the effects work better, just a general performance boost. I think there's also a mod that, like, ports the game into Unreal 5. Which, again, is just more graphic boosting. This is made by a Polish team? So, it's Polish voice acting. By default, it's not installed, but you can install it as DLC. Alternatively, on Nexus mods, there's English AI voice acting, so I actually opted for that because I simply wanted to try AI voice acting. I'd never experienced it before. I want to see what it's like. It's not like I'm gonna understand the Polish, even if it is supposed to be very good. So yeah, this is also my first experience with AI voice acting. I'm gonna say far from perfect, like, it sounds robotic. And the guy who made the mod maybe could have done a better job, like I doubt he actually picked every line himself, but sometimes the tone is completely off, or they literally switch voices. Some characters will speak to me like a man, and he has a woman's voice for a couple lines. It's weird. But because of how, like, old the art style looks, I think that the robotic acting kind of fits the tone of the game, right? Like, it's definitely at least of the quality of Gothic 1 and 2 original. Just, you know, with the couple weird mistakes, so you can tell this was not a human doing the voices here and there. Still, it was neat. The same mod author has the same kind of thing for, like, every campaign mod for Gothic 2. And I know there's, like, AI voice acting things for Skyrim. Like, if this is what we can do for user-generated content, it's perfectly acceptable. I'm glad to have it. I do not see this replacing professional acting in its current state, though. But the thing is, its current state is just what the public has access to. James Earl Jones sold the rights to his voice for Darth Vader forever ago. Like, the man's been dead, and we've been seeing Darth Vader in video games and movies long after that. Like, it's good. We know that. They even have, like, the license for the official one in Fortnite. You can just talk to Darth Vader. Anyways, back to Archolos. So I guess it's a prequel. You're a separate character. His name's Marvin. You're just running away from the orcs who are slowly creeping up the islands. The king has started sending like everyone into the Valley of Mines to make the magic ore, like what happens in the first game, right? But the magic barrier isn't up quite yet. And yeah, you just run from your home island to Archolos. You're like a vagrant, you had to do some bad things, you're running away, starting a new life here. But so is everyone else, so it's not really an easy opportunity. As you play the game, there's like a real sense of time where you see more and more refugees show up and they get more violent and desperate over time, and orcs start to show up eventually too. Because even Archolos isn't safe. But yeah, you just start off trying to make your place in the small village that you're camped in, trying to prove value for you and the villagers. Eventually your brother gets kidnapped, and you spend the rest of the game looking for him pretty much. It's a little ridiculous because he got like poisoned by a blood fly on the way to the village, and you're like trying to get a cure for him at first, but then he gets kidnapped before you deliver the cure. Then you'll spend like the next 3 months looking for this guy, expecting him to still be alive, like the poison wasn't gonna kill him. And he acknowledges it in some lines. He's like, he explains this mental state he's in when someone like just genuinely asks how he's doing. He's like, this is fucking nuts. I'm really looking for my sick brother, and the chances of him being alive are getting lower every day. I have no idea what I'm doing. Every authority that I go to says they can help me, and they offer nothing. They just use me and end up doing more bullshit for them. And that's kind of like the main theme of the game. Everybody's just using you for their own means, and they can't actually help you. And it seems like bullshit at first, but then when you get to the end and you learn who's orchestrating all this, it turns out that it might have all been intentional, that they were like maybe not helping you on purpose. And that was like kind of a big fuck. You have 2 factions you can join, mercenaries or guards. There's a third one that opens up towards the end of the game. And there's side quests. You can also end up joining the Royal Guard. Though, you'd think this all gets you different endings, but it doesn't. There's just a few quests. You will end up going where you go all the same. They kind of did like a tie-in with a character from Gothic 1. Who Marvin is. His name isn't Marvin, but he's, he gets a nickname, I guess, later on. And in the remake, there's actually people who worked on Archolos as a part of that, so they redesigned that character to look like Marvin, which I think is cute. They did a lot of redesigning in the remake to like retcon fit the lore better. Like the Sleeper Temple has more references to dragons since he's the undead dragon in the second game, not just a big mine crawler. But yeah, with this being made after, 4 other Gothic games, they have like a better grasp on the lore. You get to see like the southern continents and Nordmore and stuff that didn't exist until Gothic 3. Lots of lore for you to read up on. It just feels like a very cohesive, lore-friendly stuff. It took some getting used to. I haven't played Gothic 2 in a long time, but it's satisfying RPG experience. A little frustrating at times, but so satisfying to explore and get stronger and stuff. Now, normally the mage faction is its own thing, but there is no real mage faction in this one, so getting magic is a little difficult. It's interesting, I guess you could say. You really just have to explore and find runes, and you can pay to increase your magic at a couple teachers, but there's no one who can really just give you anything. There's like an antique shop that you give coins to. When you give them enough coins, he'll sell you some magical merchandise, which is where you can get magic weapons that scale with your mana. If you didn't find that, then like there's literally one corpse in the first village that has a staff if you're trying to go for mage build. Otherwise, I think that it's very easy to get like trapped into not being able to really do magic like I was. So it's like I need learning points to increase my mana so I can do anything with magic, but I'm already at a brick wall. I need to increase my strength so I can get better equipment. So I ended up just being a warrior pretty much. Strength or dex, you pick one or the other. It seems to me that dex weapons have higher base damage, but I guess they don't scale with the dex stat. That's only for ranged weapons. It's kind of weird how they do that. I'm not sure which is the better way to go. Follow the serpent to begin your ascension, the way to yield the token of the serpent. They did actually do a small innovation on the stats that was not present in the main game, where like you have a base stat and an effective stat value. So when you drink a stat boosting potion, that only boosts your effective stat, meaning that the learning point cost does not go up until you hit that threshold naturally, and it's actually beneficial to just drink boosters right away. Which is nice. That's actually, there's a mod for the new Gothic remake that switches the system over to that as well. There's other weird things, just like eating foods can randomly give you stat boosts. And you get like the balanced diet bonus that gives you some health, or like if you eat like 20 apples, I think, you get a point of strength. Probably some other secrets, but those are the ones that I knew. I was a strength build, of course, so I just mostly focused on buying apples everywhere I can find them. I thought Gothic's combat was like novel the first time I went through it. It's still overall clunky. I think the game could have benefited from better combat, especially when it throws a lot of groups at you. There's not really a good way to fight groups. There's no AoE cleaving really unless you use magic. It's kind of a blemish on an otherwise pretty good game. Like, again, by the end, this story had a pretty good twist, but everything up to that is just like you wandering around and nobody's helping you, and it feels kind of hopeless and pointless. It's like another case of I kind of don't give a shit. Is like my goal is finding your brother, and like he's obviously fucking dead already. You know it the whole time. There's no way he's alive anymore. It's just crazy. But the quests along the way are well written. There's plenty of them to do. Factions have their own unique quest lines. It's maybe worth replaying at least part of the game. Though they both converge into the same point, so I don't know about finishing a second run. I think the island is pretty small. Like, it feels pretty big at first, but that's just because it's hard. You'll be running back to the tavern every couple fights just to sleep and heal. But you'll be running all over the place by the end. There is a bit of a fast travel system that's kind of shitty. There's like pentagrams you can find someplace, and I'll have a teleport rune nearby. It costs mana. Again, you won't have much of because that costs learning points. I feel like it wouldn't be so bad if you could just use the teleport rune wherever to teleport to the pentagrams, but no, you have to walk to a pentagram to teleport to a different pentagram. It's kind of dumb. There is actually like a mod of the Decade edition coming out. Probably it's going to be directly in that Unreal port. And maybe they'll add some quality of life like that to it. Honestly, the story in the first two Gothic games isn't anything crazy either. I'd say that it's at least on par, if not better, than those. For reference, like, it's just a satisfying RPG experience outside of the story. So, you know, I'd say it's probably better than Gothic 2. Which I do think is a very good RPG if you haven't played it. Even if it is a little jank. And, I'm gonna say it was very lengthy too. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be like more than 50 hours, but I want to say maybe 100. Check GOG Galaxy. Guys, I love GOG. GOG games. Either A or C, I'm not sure. B, C. C. Archolos. How much did I play this? Yeah, 116 hours, dude. For like a free mod. Solid experience. I actually haven't played Gothic 1 Remake yet because I was playing that for like a month still when it came out. I'll get to it soon. Give me like another month, like give me some time to rest. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of my most anticipated games for the year. Again, Archolos still a little jank, but I'd say it's overall higher quality than Gothic 2, which I do like. Like, I'd give this like a, for me, probably an 8 out of 10 experience. And, you know, I'd say Gothic 2 is like a 6. But that's me trying to be objective. Like, I do genuinely enjoy it. 6 is pretty good for a year of jank RPG. And 8 is astounding. I think that's all I got for you this week. Maybe I'll try and finish 9 Souls soon. I've been working on that for a long time. I don't love it, but I think I am pretty far. I do want to finish it before I play Blasphemous 2, which I really want to play, so it's on the to-do list. I was more focused on Archolos. Like, I was really enjoying that. I played it a lot for like 3 months. And I kind of let Nine Souls fall to the wayside. I'll get back to it. Stamina. Say something about following the serpent, and I guess that's this. Path of Enlightenment. A green circle over there. No. Someone tried the greatsword, I should pull that out for a minute. And that javelin ability just fires on its own. I don't have to charge it up or nothing. People.
I don't know if it's the stress, the hunger, or the cold. I feel weak. My heart is beaten out of my chest. I need the medication in my suitcase. And I have no idea where it is. What else could...
Hi, mister. I'm Dag. I'm from Skell. When the bad men took Mama into the barn, I ran as fast as I could. And then Mrs. Koss found me. She's very nice, but she's sick. I'm watching Mika for her. That's her. I wish I could help her. But we dropped all our stuff when the monsters chased us in the tunnel. It was so dark and scary.
Oh, her suitcase is in the tunnel?
Albin and I fled from Jova when we heard the Asterian army was approaching. We left everything behind, even our poor dog.
I know the dog.
Albin is really beside himself about it. We just couldn't risk bringing him along, noisy as he is.
Oh, and the idea treats me, you come back to me.
My poor Max. We had to leave in such a hurry, we left him behind. I pray to Sethris that those Savinian cretins haven't found him. Oh, I should have just set him free. I'll never forgive myself. My poor...
I guess I'll do this mine, assuming it's like an isolated dungeon kind of thing. Or... No, I guess I can't go in. Oh wait, here we go. I want to go for like another half hour. Locked from the other side. Huh. I didn't miss anything, did I? Must be another entrance somewhere. Why does this blade look familiar to me? Definitely a weapon in something else. But what? And even an anime sword. No, I'm picturing like a big rusty version of this, probably from a horror game. I don't suppose it's the one Pyramid Head drags around, is it? Never even played Silent Hill. I've been meaning to play the 2 remake. Follow pills, prescription filled, redacted costs. Oh. Turn around and give those to her. Sooner than later. Now, she plans to get more of this crap, but it'll buy her a few days.
You found my medication? Oh, what a relief. I was starting to make peace with Sethras. You've saved my life. Thank you. I can't even fathom what would have become of my poor baby if something happened to me. I just need to rest for a little bit.
Whoa. Oh. Yeah, I didn't have the other weapon out. Yeah, it's the last line up for me to get into a fight. Probably not. Oh, this looks like the mine. I don't remember if I came up this way or not. Probably not. Getting shot at. Come on. It's not that long range. For you.
I'm a journalist. Article 79 of the Geneva Convention formally states that journalists are protected under international humanitarian law.
Who are you?
I'm Tanya Elva. I'm an independent investigative journalist covering the Civil War.
Are you the journalist mentioned in this note?
I have no idea who or what this note is referring to. You're barking up the wrong tree.
Okay. I'll have to find something that connects you to that note then. The vigil, rather. Death from above. Card. She's from in. Put that drone module. Entropic field, I even remember getting this, though. Unit emits a resonant wave of high frequency Olympic particles, capable of shattering proximate Olympic projectiles. So, what, I just can't get shot at for 60 seconds? That's kind of good sounding, actually. I might replace the stun with that, the distract. Death from above. Does it list me into a dominant altitude? I don't... Like, is it going to be like a meteor strike attack? Or is it gonna shoot from the sky? Like that. Fortunately, I cannot use it to jump up there. Like it's possible, I just didn't know what to expect. What is this? No, I have a key. Blocked otherwise. Doug Norris?
Listen, I don't want any trouble. I'm just looking for supplies.
Who are you?
The name's Atticus. I escaped the Medini prison camp when the demons attacked. I should have died there. Looks like Setharus had other plans for me.
Are you that guy's kid?
I joined up with some refugees. We have a camp close by. The path to reach it is behind the giant stone serpent. Head north from here. You should find it. These people need me. They're in bad shape. I'm out here scrounging for supplies. Have you seen the destroyed ON vehicles on the road? They're northeast of the Weeping Knight statue. There's a truck that's still in good shape. If only I could find the keys and get it started, I could take these people to my father's farm in Sinedra.
You are, yes.
I think I met your father. He's Ernest Cadell, right?
Yes. He's my father. I'm glad to know he's alive and well. This makes me want to get back home even more. It doesn't look like it, but Hadia was beautiful and peaceful. It changed so quickly. I first noticed it on campus at Archolos University. History lessons were modified to suit new narratives.
The line drawn in the sand by facts was fading under the waves of Sabinian nationalism. New campus groups and fraternities were formed and engaged in intimidation campaigns against Palamist students. Some of us stood firm, but most ended up leaving. It was so hard for me. My parents had spent their hard-earned money to send me to university. I was the only one in the family who had been given this chance. Deep down, I always believed that it would stop, that people would eventually come to their senses. Then I noticed that this was happening all over the country. By the time my hope had faded, civil war erupted. When the war erupted, I was still in Ocelot, in the heart of the Lion's Den. I gathered what supplies I had and left for the Astarian-Umbrahan border. I needed to get home, to get to my family. What usually took a few hours on a road trip was turning into a logistical nightmare. Couldn't drive, take the bus, or train. Sabinian soldiers were patrolling back roads, streets, stations, you name it. On the way, I did things. Things I'm not proud of. I stole from people who were more desperate than I was. I refused to help others in need. I truly failed as a Palamist. After months of hiding, looting, stealing, and running, I finally arrived on the outskirts of the Umbrahan border. I sought refuge in a barn. I was exhausted and hungry. The farmer woke me. I was initially terrified, but he was holding a plate of food. He handed it to me and I devoured it. He said he would return with more. He turned out to be a Sabinian farmer, feeding me to buy time until the soldiers showed up.
What?
It worked like a charm. That was the last square meal I had. After that, prison scraps if I was lucky.
Like feeding a stray cat before you round them up.
Did you know that the peacekeepers had an outpost in Medini? They stood by and watched Sabinian soldiers rape and murder Palamists in droves. I'll tell you what they did care about. Their medical supplies and food. That's it. If they claim they never saw the Medini prison camp just outside of town, they could sure smell it. I guarantee you that. The stench of death filled the air for kilometers. They had the numbers and equipment to stop what was happening. They just stood there and watched. Let's just say, I don't hold them in high regard. Let me tell you about Sabinians. The guards at the Medini prison camp would sometimes open the camp gates to Sabinian civilians. They would enter the gates of hell to spend the night beating, killing, raping, or any other twisted pleasure they could imagine. These Sabinian civilians wanted to settle old scores. Do you know what their grievances were? A wealthy Palamist who would refuse to give them a job. A farmer who wouldn't lend his tools. A man who had stolen a girlfriend. Petty disputes were settled with crimes against humanity. That's who you're dealing with. I despise them with every fiber of my being.
Which is why you do the same. That's what I'm hearing from all of you.
They are my brothers and sisters. Our faith and tragedy bind us. We will overcome this. We must. Now, more than ever. May we all stand in our Lord's gaze. They are not our Lord's doing. He would never unleash such demons upon us, no matter how much we've sinned. This disaster is the work of TR, the great two-headed serpent. You want proof? If they were from Setharis, they would have only attacked the guards back in Medini. Once the strange anomalies appeared, creatures materialized everywhere out of thin air. It was surreal. The Kata describes a place called the Himalara Fields. TR made the Great Curse, and his demons dwell in that place. I believe those anomalies are doorways between our worlds.
Did I ever go in here? I think I did. Unless... the same one. I still got a key for that. Yeah, I think this is the same one. Two doors, actually, I didn't notice that.
But then this is one of them. I guess it's this one. I thought it was like a little badge, not a whole fucking shield. You know, like a pin you'd wear in your lapel. No, you're just lugging around that thing. Guess that's all I'm gonna find in this mines area. There's gotta be another entrance somewhere. Maybe the Order has a key. Maybe that ruins is connected to it somehow, I don't know. I think this is probably a good place to stop. Like, explore this whole back section of the map, right? Okay, back to my APC. Make a save. There was another game I could have talked about, it just came to mind. I forgot to write it on the list, but we'll have that next time if I don't finish anything. And yeah, that's all we're doing today, folks. Bye-bye.